Gender-based violence has been rife in South Africa in recent years. St. Anne's is a home for women and children so that they can feel safe and be rehabilitated back into society. Women shelters provide a safe home for women who have experienced violence and abuse. Joy Lange speaks to us on why it is important that the government allocates money for these types of shelters.
St. Anne's is 115 years old, and that has always been the ethos, that the bond between mother and child is sacred. Women's shelters are absolutely critical. Imagine a world where abuse, or imagine South Africa, where abuse is at the rate where it's at, and a woman has to flee and she has nowhere to go. When you look at the president's speech and announcing that they are going to be setting aside 1.1 billion, he didn't specifically make mention of women's shelters. And in actual fact, I was a bit disappointed, or we were a bit disappointed, and I know the other shelter managers were also disappointed, that he didn't actually give a divisive plan as to how that money will be allocated, how it will be spent. And so I guess Treasury and the Presidency needs to give us a divisive plan.
Joy says it's important that when the women go through therapy, their core issue be addressed. So the perpetrators must be involved in therapy as well.
You see that the woman comes, and sometimes over the years we've had the partner come as well. And there needs to be a rehabilitation program set in place for the partner that abuses. And that can be instituted once a protection order is given, a final protection order, that the person can somehow be almost sentenced to a rehabilitation program, so that healing and transformation and the trauma can be dealt with for that person. Because what has been happening in the absence of that, we have a woman coming to the shelter who was in an abusive relationship with a partner. Nothing happens to him. Tomorrow or next week he goes down the road or in the community and starts a relationship with another woman who we see a month later or 2 years later. So nothing has actually happened to the cause. And that's what we need to be looking at more vastly as well.
Lange applauds the attention and awareness gender-based violence has gotten in recent months, but says more needs to be done.
The society has actually taken a stand. I mean, many people took to the streets and voiced their opinions and disgust in terms of, all the hashtags, am I next, and we will not be next, and all of those things. So that awareness in social media and all of that has really put the plight of women who face violence, women and children who face violence, it has put that back on the agenda.
Women shelters provide a safety haven where women can feel and be openly themselves. I am Busiswa Mahonono for Our City News, Woodstock.